G'day guys, welcome. Been a bit of a break for myself. As you can see, I've been up in the mountains, just resting, doing a little bit of, no I haven't. What I want to talk about, okay, and I'll be doing some videos over the next month or so, okay, once the grand finals is finished and the season is finished, as we still wait for a coach, of our football club. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the Brownlow medal from last night. And just a quick, I suppose, observation about that. I'm not here, well, it probably sounds like I'm going to rain on the parade of supporters. I'm not excluding myself from this conversation either, because I'm as guilty as this as well. And this is certainly, okay, not a knock on Sam Walsh either. He's an extraordinary young player. Extraordinary. We are very, very, very lucky to have him. Okay, very lucky to have him. This is more of an observation, okay, from, I suppose, a mentality point of view and how things need to change for us to move forward. And the reactions last night from us supporters in regards to Sam and his finish in the Brownlow medal, the fact that he finished 4th on 30 votes, brilliant. But the overwhelming reaction from us supporters was, wow, we've got Sam Walsh. How good are we? Okay, everything's going to be okay because we've got Sam Walsh. Which worries me because 5 years ago, only 5 years ago, which seems a long time ago now, we were saying exactly the same thing about Patrick Cripps. And at the same time in 2016, we thought we were on the way up. But how things can change with that mentality, okay? And I suppose I want to draw a comparison between Walsh and Cripps, and they're completely different players. But in regards to that same reaction in 2016 with Patrick Cripps from us supporters, wow, we've got Cripper. Wow, how good are we? We've got Patrick Cripps. Everything's going to be okay. Okay, look at us, Carlton, we've got Patrick Cripps. Oh, look at us, we've got Sam Walsh. But we are a fucking shit football team. And we appear to hang our hat on individuals. And this is a mentality for me that needs to change. It can only change with success on the field. It can only change. So once again, we fall into that trap last night. So I wanted to have a look at Cripper's numbers from 2016. Why 2016? Because it was Cripper's third year in the AFL. Quite extraordinary numbers. And he finished top 10 in the Brownlow that year. Not as good as Walshy last night, but Dangerfield was a runaway winner in 2016. But Cripper was up there, okay? He was clearly our leading vote getter from Carlton, and he finished top 10. But his numbers were extraordinary, all right? He had, what did he have? He had 10 games where he had more than 10 clearances, and he had 5 games where he had more than 20 contested possessions. He had 4 games where he had double figure tackles. Okay, he averaged 8 tackles a game. It was an extraordinary year, and I just remember it. Okay, we saw the decline of, I suppose, Mark Murphy as a midfielder and also Gibbs, and we were hanging our hat on this young guy, but nothing. We never appeared to support him, and it always appeared to be Patrick Cripps. You know, this whole notion that we've got Cripps, and it just continued right up to this point. Now the focus is going on to Sam Walsh. And I know we're hoping things will change. We know that, but it's just hope at this stage. And the new president's come in and he's made some changes, but really, I really don't care about the changes unless we see change, okay, once the players cross the white line and we can actually be proud of our football team. I don't want to be proud of a CEO, okay? I want to be proud of our football team. And I'm holding Luke Sayers to the fact that he expects our team to play finals football in 2022. That's what he expects. So I'm holding him to that. And I feel like we're such a long way off in that regards. And I think we think it's just going to change like that. All right, we've got another thing coming because this is a really poor, underperforming football team with a really poor midfield. And that's what I'm here to talk about. So now that all our mentality is, we've got Sam Walsh. Wow, how good are we? Okay, let's have a look at that midfield, man. Okay, and we're going to get a rude awakening this week. Okay, in regards, well, not a rude awakening because we've seen how good the Western Bulldogs and Melbourne midfields are. We've seen how good they are. And if we think a midfield next year of Sam Walsh, who's an extraordinary young player, can he get any better though? Can he actually get any better? But if he stays at this sort of, we'd be happy if Sam Walsh produces this type of consistent football for the next 10 years. We'd be happy with that. That's how good it is. But really, when you look at that midfield, it doesn't cut the mustard. It doesn't. It is poo. It really is poo. And we're kidding ourselves if we think that midfield can just suddenly click. Or when we haven't seen good football from Patrick Cripps now for 2 seasons. Okay, he's played okay football, but nowhere near it. So that's a huge question mark, whether Cripps can get anywhere near back to his best. I mean, I don't know many players, elite players, which Patrick Cripps was in 18 and 19, who have 2 really pretty average years, then come back and just explode. Maybe give me a comparison of a player who can just turn it around and get back to their best. Maybe 1 year, okay, but this is 2 years now with Cripper. Then let's look at the underneath, all right? This is who we've got. Paddy Dow, huge question marks. Matty Kennedy, a bit of a plotter, workhorse, okay? Finished the year off okay. Still on the rookie list. Still hasn't been signed. Ed Curnow, 1 year contract. Good on him. But do we want him anywhere near the midfield? Probably not. Will Setterfield, huge question marks. SBS, will he even be at the football club next year? Can he even play midfield? I don't think he can. I don't think he works hard enough. David Cunningham showed a few little signs when he came in. Okay, being now on the list, it will be 7 years next year. We're probably not going to see him to mid-season anyway after that ACL. Zach Williams, brought to the football club on huge money, tried in the midfield, wasn't fit enough, now playing half back, which we probably think is his best position anyway. Zach Fisher, I mean, is he too small to play midfield? Is he good enough to play midfield? Not bad at the centre bounce, but doesn't give you a lot around the ground. Lockie Fogarty, can he go into the midfield? Is he good enough? Is he clean enough? Is he skillful enough to be a good midfielder? The list goes on. Okay, we do not bat deep enough at all. And we talk about adding Adam Chera. We talk about adding George Hewitt. Will that be enough? And it's not just about that midfield mix either. We're talking centre square. We're talking stoppage around the ground. We're talking the extra layers, high half forwards and wingers. And these are our wingers at the moment. This is what the options we have on a wing at the moment. Lockie O'Brien, Matthew Cottrell, Jack Nunes. Okay, look at that compared to the Western Bulldogs wings this weekend. Bailey Smith and Lockie Hunter. And Melbourne's wingers this weekend, Angus Brayshaw and Zach Langdon. Noted ball winners, courageous, skillful, smart, goal-kicking, running machines. I'm holding Luke Sayers to this expectation of playing finals football in 2022. I'm not saying it can't happen. What I'm saying is that midfield at the moment is poo. It's awful. And if we think everything's okay because Sam Walsh finished 4th in the Brownlow medal, and a medal which umpires vote on, if we think that's going to cut the mustard next year, then we're in for a rude awakening. A rude awakening. And while we forget a little bit, it's 4 weeks on from the end of the season, we were poor. We were fucking really poor. So let's not forget that. Okay, let's not forget that. Let's speak soon.